Just as the arcades profiled in Walter Benjamin's work Paris, Capital of the 19th Century, seemed to buzz with the vitality of a new age all their own. The rusted-out industrial tools making up the landscape of Wedge Studios in Asheville, North Carolina, still seem to whisper a time-encapsulating tune of iron and steel, of soil and dust, of early mornings spent with dew on the grass. Now, though, these tools of industry serve a different array of functions, displaying an affinity for nostalgia, for memory, and for human yearning altogether unfamiliar to them in their past lives. Wedge Studios is a refurbished factory building, a space seemingly making no claim to contemporary life and confessing no interest in beginning anew. Rather, the building is one of transitional space, a fulcrum point between past and present, a choric zone in which time seems to unravel, to twist, and to knot. It is a space that, as Benjamin noticed of the sewers of Paris, allows for the camera lens to make discoveries and to uncover spatial memories that resonate in ever new ways when viewed by the contemporary moment. Wedge Studios is a passage between ages. It is a chronotope, as Paul Ricoeur asserts in Architecture and Narrativity, to indicate a series of gestures and rituals that happen and manifest architecturally as the connecting assemblage across topos, or place and site, to the chronos, or to time. Chronos, perpetual, momentary, fleeting, lasting, stretching, slipping, grasping. It is the invariable, the eternal, the everlasting. Soldering chronotopes, connecting, then, now, and the fleeting moments in between. Part 2, Camera Obscura. What is the work of a camera? What is art, and how do light and the lens connect? Wedge Studios, in the heart of Asheville's historic River Arts District, houses studio spaces for over 30 working artists who span spectrums of geography, of identity, and of expressive medium. These artists work in the heart of Appalachia, often in studios with open doors, with open windows, with open dialogue occurring within them. Wedge Studios also serves as the dwelling place for a brewery, its primary attraction aside from the studios. It also houses a wine bar, a food truck space, and a restaurant specializing in the cuisine of the American South. As artists, patrons, and diners move in and around the space, one realizes Wedge to be a gathering place of sorts, a congregation, a coming together of tourists, of locals, and of all those in between. Importantly, though, the space is heavily defined by the industrial artifacts imbricated within the fabric of the built space. These welded together industrial tools, including rusted engines, axles, wheels, gates, nails, screws, benches, panels, and sheets of aluminum, all work intertextually in important and provocative ways. The camera lens explores the built, constructed space of Wedge Studios, probing the concept of chronotope that Paul Ricoeur uses in Architecture and Narrativity to indicate the series of gestures and rituals that happen and manifest architecturally as the topos and as the chronos. Here we begin refiguration, the rereading of our towns and of all of our dwelling places. As Ricoeur asserts, constructed space is condensed time. For Ricoeur, the glory of architecture is to make present not what is no longer, but what was by means of what is no longer. In other words, architectural space presences what was by means of what is no longer, moving past and present into a tangle of knots. Here at Wedge Studios, we collage. We collage chronos and topos, narrative and experience, memory and forgetting. Here we imbricate. Here we tangle. Here we interfuse. It is here that we weld and solder entire sites of memory in each of the individual industrial tools which makes up the fabric of Wedge Studios, exploring them as nodes of space in a collage of refiguration. This brings us to part 3, refiguration.